Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Let that sink in. Every single one of us has goals. We have dreams that light us up at night. We imagine a better body, a thriving business, financial freedom, emotional peace, impact, legacy. We see ourselves stronger, happier, wealthier, wiser. Goals are exciting. Goals are inspiring. Goals are intoxicating. But here is the hard truth. Goals by themselves are cheap. Everybody has them. The difference between the person who dreams and the person who achieves is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is not connections. It is not even motivation. It is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And without that bridge, your goals remain on the other side of the canyon, visible, desirable, but unreachable. Think about it, a bridge is not glamorous. Nobody travels across a bridge because they are in love with the bridge. They travel because they want to reach the destination. The bridge is practical, it is solid, it is structured. It holds weight. It does not bend based on feelings. It does not disappear because the weather changes. That is discipline. Discipline is structure. Discipline is consistency. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Most people are addicted to motivation. They say, when I feel inspired, I'll start. When I feel ready, I'll act. When the timing is right, I'll commit. But feelings are unstable. Feelings change with sleep, with weather, with mood, with circumstances. If you build your life on feelings, you build it on sand. Discipline is different. Discipline says, I made a commitment, and I keep it. When you wake up early to work out even though your bed feels like heaven, that is discipline. When you study while others scroll, that is discipline. When you save money instead of spending impulsively, that is discipline. When you hold your tongue instead of reacting in anger, that is discipline. When you show up for your responsibilities even when nobody is watching, that is discipline. And here's what makes discipline so powerful. It compounds. One disciplined action seems small. One workout doesn't transform your body. One study session doesn't guarantee success. One saved dollar doesn't make you wealthy, but daily discipline. Over months, over years, it builds empires. We admire successful people. We look at the athlete lifting trophies, the entrepreneur building a company, the author publishing books, the leader inspiring millions. We see the result, we applaud the accomplishment, but we do not see the bridge they built. We do not see the mornings they woke up tired and trained anyway. We do not see the late nights they worked when everyone else was sleeping. We do not see the sacrifices, the routines, the repeated actions done over and over and over again. Accomplishment is public. Discipline is private, and that is why so few people choose it, because discipline is lonely. Discipline is quiet. Discipline often goes unnoticed. There is no applause for the person who sticks to their plan on a random Tuesday. There is no trophy for saying no to distraction, but that is where the magic happens. Discipline builds identity. When you act with discipline repeatedly, you begin to see yourself differently. You are no longer someone who tries. You are someone who follows through. You are someone who keeps promises to yourself, and that is life changing, because the most important promises you will ever keep are the ones you make to yourself. When you say you will wake up at 5 a.m. and you do it, you build trust with yourself. When you say you will exercise 4 times a week and you follow through, you build confidence. When you say you will finish that project and you complete it, you build self-respect. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. It is saying, my future matters more than my current comfort. And that is the real battle, comfort versus growth. Comfort whispers, stay here, it's safe, it's easy, it's familiar. Growth demands step forward, it's uncomfortable, it's uncertain, but it's worth it. Discipline chooses growth. Every time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you strengthen the bridge. Every time you delay gratification, you strengthen the bridge. Every time you say no to what distracts you and yes to what develops you, you strengthen the bridge. Let me tell you something powerful. Discipline creates freedom. Most people think discipline is restrictive. They think it limits them. They think it is rigid and harsh. But look closely. The disciplined athlete has the freedom of a strong, capable body. The disciplined saver has the freedom of financial security. The disciplined learner has the freedom of opportunity. The disciplined leader has the freedom of influence. Indisciplined feels free in the moment. You eat whatever you want. You spend whatever you want. You skip whatever you want. You avoid whatever feels hard, but later there is a cost. Poor health, debt, stress, regret, missed opportunities. Discipline costs you now. Indiscipline costs you later. Choose your cost. Understand this. The bridge does not build itself in a day. You do not wake up one morning suddenly disciplined in every area of your life. Discipline is trained, it is practiced, it is strengthened like a muscle. Start small, wake up 30 minutes earlier. Read 10 pages a day, walk for 20 minutes, save a small percentage of your income. Turn off your phone during focused work. These small acts may seem insignificant, but they are bricks in your bridge, brick by brick, day by day. You do not need to be extreme, you need to be consistent. Consistency beats intensity. You can go to the gym for 5 hours in one day and burn out for 2 weeks. Or you can train for 45 minutes, 5 days a week for years. Which one builds the bridge? Consistency. You can work obsessively for 1 week and then procrastinate for a month, or you can work steadily, daily, focused. Which one leads to accomplishment? Consistency. Discipline is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing the right things repeatedly. And here is the truth most people avoid. Discipline requires sacrifice. You cannot have everything. You cannot chase every distraction and still expect massive results. You cannot stay up late every night and still expect peak performance at dawn. You must decide what matters most. Your goals are clear, your dreams are real, but are they strong enough to command your discipline? Because discipline flows from clarity. When you are clear about what you want and why you want it, saying no becomes easier. When your purpose is strong, your excuses weaken. Ask yourself, why does this goal matter? Why does your health matter? Why does your business matter? Why does your education matter? Why does your family's future matter? If your why is weak, your discipline will crumble under pressure. But if your why is powerful, if it is tied to your identity, your values, your vision, then discipline becomes a natural response. You do not need to hype yourself up every day. You need to remember who you are becoming. And let me say this clearly, you will fail sometimes. You will miss a day. You will slip. You will have moments of weakness. That does not mean the bridge is destroyed. It means you are human. The key is not perfection. The key is return. Return to your routine. Return to your standards. Return to your commitments. One bad day does not define you, but quitting does. Discipline is not about being harsh with yourself. It is about being committed to yourself. You are building something, a stronger body, a sharper mind, a stable financial life, a meaningful legacy, and that kind of construction requires patience. Imagine standing at the edge of a canyon. On one side is your current reality. On the other side is your dream life. The distance between them feels overwhelming. You cannot jump it. You cannot wish it away. You cannot complain your way across. You build. You lay one plank at a time. One disciplined action today, another tomorrow, another next week. Slowly, steadily, the bridge extends. And one day, you look back and realize you have crossed over. You are healthier. You are stronger. You are more confident. You are more capable, not because of a miracle, not because of luck, but because you chose discipline. And here is the most beautiful part. Once you cross that first bridge, you realize you can build another. Discipline becomes part of who you are. You no longer ask, "Do I feel like it?" You ask, "Is this aligned with my goals?" You no longer say, "Maybe tomorrow." You say, "Now." You no longer depend on bursts of inspiration. You rely on systems, habits, routines. That is maturity. That is power. So today, make a decision, not an emotional decision fueled by temporary excitement. A grounded decision. Decide that your goals deserve a bridge. Decide that your future self deserves your discipline. Decide that your comfort will no longer control you. Write down your goals, break them into daily actions. Protect those actions like they are sacred, because they are. Your daily habits are the architects of your destiny. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, and discipline is the system that sustains everything. When you feel tired, remember your vision. When you feel tempted, remember your values. When you feel discouraged, remember your progress. You are not behind, you are building brick by brick, step by step. Discipline is not loud, it does not scream. It does not boast, it shows up. And if you show up long enough with discipline as your companion, there is no goal that can remain out of reach. Because discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Build it, walk it, and refuse to turn back.